So today you're going to have a music lesson. You're not actually going to be making music today. You are going to be listening to music, and you're going to be listening to some popular music from World War II. Now, in World War II, music was used to keep people's morale up. It was really important. It was sort of part of the propaganda and encouraged to keep everybody's spirits up, because you could imagine endless war, endless challenge, people going away, all these men going away fighting, women going into the fields and into the factories, and also supporting as they did the soldiers. So it was a real morale booster. And you're going to be listening to 3 different pieces of music. And we want you to think about how these make you feel. And also, I'd like you to think about what the key messages are of the songs. How are they different? What do you think their purpose was, as you would think about the purpose of a piece of poetry or a piece of art? We want you to think about the purpose of these pieces of music. So let me take you through some of the slides. Just want to give you a little bit of context about World War II, because I know you lot are all, I call the now generation. You are so familiar with having music downloaded at just a drop of a button, on like your Spotify, putting your own playlist together. But you have to remember that actually in World War II, music was generated either from records, LPs, as you can see here. This is a sort of 1940s record player. And the other thing is, this is what a radio looked like. So these huge radios that would have in people's houses. So it was very, very different. It was not all the sort of electronics that we're sort of familiar with and used now the whole time. So it was either vinyl record, but also live music was really, really popular. Jazz music was very popular at the time. And people used to listen to music in the factories in their break time. But as I say, dance halls were really, really significant. So I've got these images together. So a dance hall, any sort of town or village would have a dance hall. And as it sounds, people would come together to celebrate, to dance together, to listen to music. Some of them, if they were big halls, might have bands involved. Some of the really large ones in cities might even have orchestras that would play the music, live music. And others may just have a record player. But it was a really popular activity in the Second World War to go to a dance hall to lift your kind of morale and your spirits. Because they could send music now around the world through radio, it was also a very important part of communicating, keeping morale up for soldiers. So you can see here people sort of rallying together and listening to music. And the radio was a very important way for children to get music into the house as well. Here, there's some images at the bottom about women in the factories and on their break time, all sitting down at the end of a busy morning, having a break, having a cup of tea, and maybe putting the radio on and listening to some music then. And this fabulous photo here, you can see this is down in the London Underground. See people sitting down on the railway line, and there's a woman here with a microphone, some people with some accordions, and they're playing music, a live performance. So you can see it was really important about keeping morale up. So the 3 pieces of music we want you to have a listen to. Stop Everything at Tea. I'm not going to give you too much information about it, because you can have a listen, and I want you to think about what you like about it, and how it makes you feel, and similarly what you think the key messages are. I've put in some background information just about the artist and the singer. The next one is from Dame Vera Lynn, who I'm sure you've all heard of Dame Vera Lynn. We'll Meet Again, a very, very familiar song. If you have any relatives who can remember or experience the World War, you might want to talk to them about music, because I'm sure it evokes lots of memories listening to music during that period. And this final piece of music, which is one of Miss Max, actually, one of her favourite pieces, is Glenn Miller, In the Mood. And this is a great jazz piece. This is American jazz, but actually it was equally as popular in the United Kingdoms at that time as well. So have a little think, read about the background history, brief history about music and why it was so important in the early slides, then listen to these 3 pieces of music with links. And then I think it would be really nice if you pulled this all together in a mind map. So you might have in the center of your mind map, the middle bit, music in World War II, just as a general heading. And then off that, you can just get all your ideas together about the music and think about the background of the history of the music that you found out about in the early slides, and think about how the music makes you feel, and what are the key messages that and themes that came across in the songs. As you would at a book talk, is you using your evaluation skills, but rather than on a piece of text, this time on a piece of music, because communicating messages and emotions is really what music is all about. Right, so I hope you enjoy those 3 pieces. They're 3 very different pieces of music, and we look forward to hearing all your feedback and your thoughts when you send it through an email.